Hey, I'm Randy, and I'm the Cheap Audio Man. Here at the Cheap Audio Man, we don't feel like audio equipment should cost as much as saving your dog's life after it's been struck by a car. All its medical needs available at the vet should be less than that to save your family friend. Today we're talking about the Jamo C93 Mark II. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk about these Jamo C93 IIs. Okay, we have a sponsor. That sponsor is the novelization of the Superman 3 movie from 1983. Apparently they still have a lot of these sitting around. You can buy them individually or by the pound. It's a special edition. Has Superman and Richard Pryor on the front. They wanted me to read something. She was on the way to ruining the breakfast of one Jimmy Olsen, photographer on the Daily Planet, who stepped up to his favorite hot dog wagon. What do you, man? Mustard, sauerkraut? The hot dog man stuck his fork indifferently into his mixtures. Hot dog man sticking his fork indifferently into things. I literally just turned to that page and it's kind of funny. All right, Jamo C93 IIs. It's a cool looking speaker. It's more than cool looking. I actually really like this. Magnetic grills, heather gray, nice grills. So nice that I'm not throwing them places because I actually like this grill. Okay, it's got a 1-inch soft dome tweeter. Actually 6-inch, some type of woven woofer, and a real face plug. Real face plug. I'm going to read you what Jamo has on their website about this speaker. Okay? And I'm just going to let you judge it. Concert level sound reproduction through a high quality woofer. Deeper bass and less distortion using technology to move the sound further. A cleaner sound throughout your space, even if you have to change seats. Available in black ash, white oak, and dark apple wood grain finishes. I don't know who over at Jamo is putting that together. And I don't know who at Jamo is sitting in a conference room reading that and saying, yeah, that's perfect. Let's put that on the website. Come on, there's a lot of cool stuff going on this speaker, and that's the best they can do. All right, so this thing is really cool looking. It's got like, I don't know, like a baffle extension. I'm sure that has something to do with like baffle step loss or some type of acoustic stuff. It's got a really cool waveguide that's inset, and the finish is fantastic. I mean, I've never gushed over how a speaker looks until I got this speaker. I don't know. It looks like it's got two little things. I don't know what this is. Maybe it's for a wall hanger. I don't know. It doesn't say on the website, that's for sure. It just says it has really cool technology to make the sound go further. This speaker looks like it was a regular speaker abducted by aliens, and then the aliens looked at it and like, why'd they do this? Let's make it better. And then they sent it back down to Earth. I don't know for sure, but I think it has alien engineering in it. It could. Okay. So what's it rated at? Down to 45 hertz, up to 24,000 hertz, 6 ohms, 88 dB. Real phase plug. It's got a real phase plug. All right, soundstage. Killing Strangers. Marilyn Manson. 13 seconds in. There's some and it wrapped around me. Not all the way around me, but it like to the sides. Never heard that before. Every Day Is the Same by 9 Inch Nails. The beginning of the song, there's a crescendo. It sounds like they're sucking the matter out of the room. And it was quite pleasant. It's quite pleasant when the matter was sucked out of the room, listening to it through these. More Human Than Human. The placement of the little electronic noises going back and forth. This is soundstage and imaging. Going back and forth was very good. You could pick it out. And the placement of the female voice initially on that song was very well done. It was stepped behind the speakers and lower. Okay, very good. Drive In, Drive Out is probably the clearest I've ever heard that guitar. And I don't listen to that for the clarity of the guitar. I listen to it to see where the guitar's at, and it should be kind of down and behind. And not only did it put it down and behind, the guitar was about as clear as I've ever heard it on any speaker. And then Beat It by Michael Jackson. Number one, it just sounded awesome. But there's like a bullwhip. Like they have electronic drums going on. Do, 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 do. But at the beginning, they're like, whoosh, whoosh. That sound above the speakers. Very good, Jamo. Very good. Vertical imaging. All right. And my go-to, Wherever I May Roam by Metallica, again, around me to the sides when it in the initial part where they have the little over to the right, all the way to the side, all the way, not up here, not up here, right here. Okay. Very good. Very good, Jamo. It also has this cool, like, kind of chrome logo on the side. I, like, literally don't care how a speaker looks, and this thing looks awesome. It looks like if, I don't know, that HGTV people made a speaker. It looks like this. All right. Let's talk about bass. First, let's talk about comments that I get. I like to talk about the comments that I get. So we're going to do a little role play. Okay? I'm going to pretend like I'm a person that just bought their first set of really expensive speakers. Let's say $1,500. And let's say, hypothetically, it was a KEF LS50. Man, I just bought these KEF LS50s, and, you know, they sound clear, but they just don't sound very good. I mean, they don't sound like they're worth $1,500. Okay, so that's me, or a person saying that, and then, okay, here's another person. That's because you don't have the right amp hooked up to it. I mean, what kind of electronics you have going through it? It's probably garbage. That's probably why it doesn't sound good. You mean but it's a $1,500 speaker. Shouldn't it sound good on anything? No. That's silly. It only sounds good on really expensive gear. Well, which gear should I get? I don't know. Well, if it's that expensive, shouldn't they kind of tell you what it sounds the best on? No, they don't do that. Why would they do that? But I mean, if it's a car and like it has expensive tires, they tell you what tire company to buy that it's kind of rated with, right? I mean, shouldn't they do that? No, they don't do that. You got to guess. So my really expensive speakers aren't going to sound good on anything? Nope, they're not. You have to get an expensive amp, but you don't even know which expensive amp to get, and you're going to have to try out 3 or 4 of them. And if you don't have the right source, it's going to sound bad too. That's it. That was my little role play. Okay, bass. Killing Strangers. Again, by Marilyn Manson. That song's good for a variety of purposes. Nice, full. Boom, 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 boom. Very good. Also, I had these about 12 inches from the wall, and then I wanted a bit more heft, a little thickerness, wanted more thickness, put in about 8 inches, and that's where I kind of felt my sweet spot was. Yours may be different, because we have different ears and different proclivities when it comes to musical enjoyment. Okay. So what? Miles Davis, A Kind of Blue. I always say that the record's name wrong. Bass was clean and present and perfect. It sounded like a bass that's people are standing up. Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys. Want to hear how low your speaker goes? Put on Intergalactic. It struggled a bit with that. It didn't give the feel or the impression of the monumental amount of bass in that song. Struggled a little bit. Wherever I May Roam, very good. Okay. Let's talk about mid-range. Mids. Shoot to Thrill by AC/DC, my go-to song for mids. That should come out of the right speaker, should kind of sound step back, but it still should have crunch and a little bit of fullness. No. Shouldn't sound muffled or veiled. Definitely didn't sound muffled or veiled at all. And actually didn't even sound step back on these. I mean, it was present, it was crisp, it was crunchy. Very good. Okay. I have a gripe about this speaker. Okay? Chris Cornell's voice on Patience. It's a cover that he did of Guns N' Roses. It lacked a bit of fullness. Now, the detail of his voice was extraordinary. And I'll just say, overall, on the mids on these, the upper half of the mids, female vocals-ish, fantastic. If not one of the best I've ever heard. The lower half, lower registers on the acoustic guitar, male voices, it was a bit thin. It didn't have as much presence as some other speakers I've heard. Okay. The guitar on Redemption Song by Bob Marley. It was so clear you just kind of felt like the pluck. Careful. Almost felt the pluck. I forgot to turn my fan off. I wonder if y'all are going to hear that. If you do, I'm sure I'll hear about it in the comments. Anyway, you could just see the guitar being plucked on Redemption Song. Quite good. Highway to Hell, AC/DC, very crunchy, very awesome. The initial guitar, that's what I listen for. That part. Female vocals, superb. Adele on Hello was just so utterly crystalline clear. And the only speaker I've heard do it as well as this is the Emotiva B1 Plus. Okay. Let's talk about treble. All right, treble. Cymbal decay is great from Another Way to Die. Jack Black, Alicia Keys, one of the 007 soundtracks. The piano sounded like it was in the room. It was just so utterly realistic. Very good. Okay. Sinner Man. I forget who sings that. It's a female. She's very good. Hold on. I'm going to tell you. Stay with me. Almost there. Oh, Sinner Man. Nina Simone. Sorry, Nina. Anyway, the percussion, the hi-hat, it's 16th notes. On the hi-hat was so realistic and clean in the room. It's like the hi-hat was right there, coming out of the right speaker. Superb. Superb. Okay. What are my final thoughts? Woo boy, I like this speaker. Final thoughts are instrument separation is astounding. Killing Strangers, the Marilyn Manson song, at the beginning of the song in the back, it sounds like someone's got a box of pebbles and they're using it like an instrument. And it was like placed perfectly and I could hear it, and I never really I'm sure I've heard that, but it never occurred to me, oh, okay, someone's got a box of pebbles, a box of rocks, small rocks, and they're shaking them back and forth. Amazing. This is the first soft dome tweeter speaker, or speaker that has a soft dome tweeter in it, that sounds like it's a metal tweeter. It sounds like a titanium horn. It sounds like some fancy aluminum horn they had on the Paradigm, but better. Sounds almost like a ribbon tweeter. This speaker sounds awful similar to the Airmotive, the Emotiva Airmotive B1 Plus. I've never heard the level of clarity out of a soft dome tweeter like I've heard out of this one. Soundstage imaging, excellent, excellent. 8 inches was about the sweet spot to get the bass where I wanted it. Separation on More Human Than Human by White Zombie, again, was great. There's tambourine going on. There's a lot going on in that song, and you can really start to pick it apart with this speaker. I feel like the mids have a slight tilt up. Either they have a slight tilt up or they have a slight tip down on the lower mids, or the upper mids are slightly tipped up. Either way, I don't feel like... I just feel like the lower half of the mids is the only place where this speaker is just not a standout, absolutely drop your jaw, awesome. By the way, the speaker's like $400 or $460 on Amazon. Amy's on. There Will Be Time by Mumford and Sons. At the beginning, they're like moving stuff around, like maybe a music stand or something. I don't know what it is, but you can hear that they're moving something around, and it's incredible. Haven't heard this clarity since Emotiva B1 Plus. Talked about that. Oh, when I first got this speaker, I hooked it up and listened to it. A viewer sent this to me, and thank you. But I bought it from him. That's how much I like this speaker. I listened to it for about 10 minutes, and I said, hey, I would like to buy this speaker from you. Can I give you money? And then you just leave it here, so I don't have to send it back. And he did. You know who you are. Anyway, so I listened to it, and I'm like, okay, I love this speaker so much that I want to take some time. I want to I really want to think on this, because I want to give this speaker, I don't know, what it deserves. Not that I don't do that with other speakers. It's just every once in a while there's something special, and I'm just like... Anyway, I put it in my room for front channels, and I don't run a center in my room. And I noticed that dialogue on some things sounded a bit off. Almost like, I don't know, not echoey, but kind of like it was coming from, I don't know, a tube. And it occurred to me, this thing is so... It has so much resolution and clarity that you can start to pick out when things aren't mixed well. And I've only had that experience on one other product, and that was a pair of headphones when I was watching a movie or something through them. And it was a ribbon, a planar magnetic headphone, and I heard that you can start to hear when the mix is off. Time check. Okay, we're doing good. Also, one of the things that I've never done for a review is add a sub. And I was just enjoying these so much, I just wanted to say, okay, what is the sub going to do to these? And I added a sub, put the crossover pretty low, about 60 ish, and just wanted to hear the fullness paired with these, and it was a really, really awesome experience. These speakers are outstanding. If you're really into like singer-songwriter male stuff, maybe this isn't going to be the speaker for you. Trying to think if I'd call this a neutral speaker. I would say this would probably lean towards the exciting side, but it still has great bass too. If you could call it V-shaped, it may be V-shaped, because I do think there may be a dip in the lower mid-range, but I think it played well with everything I threw at it. That's the only gripe I have about it, is male vocals, and they didn't sound bad at all. I've just compared them to, like, I don't know, like Kef Q150, ELAC debut reference, some more buttery speakers that I feel kind of really do male vocals really well. This didn't do it as good as those did, but that's fine. This is a great speaker. I'm going to link it in the description, but I will warn you that when I checked it today, it was $460 on Amazon. You can get these at Crutchfield for $400. I don't have any affiliate linkage with Crutchfield, but buy them from Crutchfield. You'll save $60 and get free shipping and have 60 days to return them if you want to get them. Crutchfield's a good outfit. 60-day return window is pretty good. And then if you have to return it, it's like $10 to ship it back. If you're shipping back speakers, that's worth it. So anyway, great speaker. I'd recommend it. $400 is getting up there. It's getting up there. I do think they're worth it, though. I think they're worth it. I think this competes with the RP600M. Frankly, I think this has a bit more magic than the RP600M. I think the RP600M might be the better speaker for most people. I don't know. This thing is, the looks, the sound, there's something special about this speaker, and it's not just how it sounds, how it looks. It's just, it presents itself extremely well. So, anyway, if you want to support the channel, you can use my links, but don't buy it from Amazon. Save $60 and go over to Crutchfield. Or you can be a patron. I have a Patreon, and guess what we do each week on Sunday nights? We have a Zoom meeting. We get together and hang out and talk about stuff. Sometimes audio, sometimes, well, pretty much all the time, we're talking about audio. You can use my links if you want to try Amazon Music HD for free. I'll have a link. Also have my test track playlist in there if you want to listen to what I listen to. You know, go and listen to the parts on your speakers where I talk about it. So, appreciate all the support. The channel's growing quickly. It's very humbling to me, and I appreciate all of y'all. It's been an awesome experience, and this is so much fun, and it's such an honor to be able to do this. Listen to music and tell you what I think and have people care. So, I don't know. Y'all are great. And with that, I'm Randy. I'm the Cheap Audio Man.